What's happening, everybody? It's your man Dame DNYDC. It's Two Mics Up, back, brand new conversation. And tonight we're gonna be talking about a little jazz. We're gonna get a little funky with it. And tonight's guest that's joining me on the other mic, she's got some extensive work and history, here locally in the DMV area. Specifically, we're gonna shout out the King George community, where this really is going to be rocking. It's going to be taking place. Y'all going to want to go get your tickets. Make sure you show up. We're going to give you all the details and everything that's going on that's coming to you, Saturday, August 26th, 2023 from noon to 7 p.m. And I know you all are like, okay, Dane, what are you talking about? Who are you talking about? But without further ado, I'm going to stop, bumping my gums, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring to the other mic tonight's amazing guest. Miss Joan Waters. Joan, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit here, with me in the audience to educate us, about what's going on this weekend. And without further ado, I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to let you introduce what we're talking about before we get into what we're talking about.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited not only to be a guest, but also to tell you all about jazz in the country and a little bit about me as well and how I got involved. So it's a great thing. I appreciate the time.
Oh, no, look, I appreciate you, being here. We had the opportunity to connect and talk and build on this conversation. And I think it's really important, especially, being here in Virginia, proud Virginian, and things there's so many amazing things that go on across the state. And, before we talk about jazz in the country, like you said, I do like to open up and really start and ask, it's like a two-part question, if you will. First of all, who is Joan Waters? The person, right? When you're not doing anything related to jazz in the country. And let's start with that.
Okay. You want the condensed version, or should I start at ground zero?
Hey, go ahead. Look, this is your time, Joan. Wherever you want to start, wherever you're comfortable.
Well, I am actually a proud Marylander. I was born and raised in a little town in St. Mary's County, which is right over the bridge from King George, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
As a young adult, I moved to the D.C. area as an employee of the federal government, and I didn't tell anybody, but I said, I am never coming back to the country because there's nothing going on in St. Mary's. But do you know what? Years later, I migrated back, and I absolutely love the country, just the open space, the open air. And I'm back actually on the property where I was raised, which has been in our family for over 100 years.
Wow.
So I'm surrounded by family and loving it.
I love that.
I am the proud mother of 2 grown daughters, and I'm Gigi to 3 exceptionally gifted grandchildren. Just nothing like a grandmother's love,
I can see it in your smile.
Yes. Can't get enough of them. So I have been out of the workforce for a little over 5 years and loving every moment.
Okay.
I was an HR professional. I was one of the hats I wore. Also, lots of experience as an event planner, corporate events, private, social events, you name it, family reunions, weddings, you name it. I've pretty much done it. And so I really, really love bringing people together to celebrate life.
Wow.
So my other passions besides event planning, number one, really is my relationship with God. I really hold that dear.
Yes.
Of course, then family and love to travel, especially to the beach where I should be today.
Well, we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're here. But I feel you. I'm a beach person too. I miss being near the beach. So I agree with you on that.
Yes, yes. So I'm a pretty happy person, actually. I'm also an author. I published my first
Oh,
book in 2019
all right.
because I believe everyone has a story, and
Mm,
so it's
mm.
entitled "Jewels in My Journey," and
Wow.
it just gives a little inspiration. That's a whole other conversation,
Oh
actually.
no, yeah, but I'm glad that you brought because I mean we had to bring you back for that because I mean that
I would
really
love to. I would
it,
love to.
it does because it really ties into everything that I'm about and we're about here at Two Mics Up. Everyone, and when we talk, when we first met, we jived in the sense that everyone does have a story to tell. I don't care, how successful of a business owner or entrepreneur you are. There's a message in everyone's story and everyone's journey, and
Totally
it's not
agree.
about and it's all about being able to bring it out. And that's why I'm glad we're able to sit here today and we're talking about your journey, your
Yes.
history, your wealth of history and your background. But the other part too, Joan, to the question, with all that, we're also here to try to figure out. We want to know, like, how did you, through all of your other passions, get involved with this amazing event and jazz in the country.
I'm so glad you asked, Damon. I have been a jazz lover since oh gosh, my late teens, early 20s.
Wow.
And I was just hit with the jazz bug, progressive jazz, contemporary jazz, and all of that. And fast forward, I had done some volunteering at another local jazz fest and was inspired after one of those events with the name Jazz in the Country. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I would love to have my own jazz festival.
Mm-hmm.
Never thinking that it would actually happen, right? No
Wow.
plans, nothing. And so in late 2018, I was vacationing abroad, and my oldest brother calls me and I'm thinking, what? He knows I'm on vacation. Why is he calling? So he said, hey, how would you love to coordinate a jazz festival? Well, I didn't have to think twice. I'm like, I'm in. I'm in.
Okay.
I had no idea about anything. So he told me about Mount Bethel Retreat Center.
Mm-hmm.
Had never heard of it. Knew King George because I drive through like most of us do going somewhere else.
Right.
And I'm like, what? There's a retreat center, a Black-owned retreat center in King George. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. Yeah. So when I got back, we went down to tour it, and I just immediately fell in love with the property.
Yeah.
It's 75
Yeah.
acres of waterfront property right on the Potomac River.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, oh, perfect, perfect spot for any outdoor recreation, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a little bit about the place, and I met a local pastor who is part of the Mount Bethel Baptist Association, who actually owns the property.
Mm.
They acquired it in the late 1800s, and over the years, it had really become a community resource, especially for African Americans
Wow.
during segregation. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking all this in, and I'm like, wow, who knew? Who knew? It's the best kept secret.
It really is. I mean,
Yes,
if people haven't had the opportunity or the chance, I would suggest take advantage of make it a day trip, and
exactly.
really take advantage of the scenery, the history, and everything that that area has to offer.
Yes.
And I'm getting chills just talking about it and thinking about it. But you talked about the history of it. But how important though has jazz in the country become a part of telling that history and preserving that history? Because I think that also is important. Because I think there's a tie-in that we really should understand between the two.
Yes, yes. We totally believe that we actually feel called to this project,
Mm,
this
mm,
Jazz Fest. And we believe that we have been key in increasing not only the knowledge of the retreat center, but also the patronage.
Right.
Because there are a couple buildings on the property that are available for rent. One is the building they call the mansion that houses, well, actually, has lodging for about 40 or so people, camp
Wow.
style.
Right.
Very rustic. The property
Mm-hmm.
needs a facelift, a little operation.
Yeah. Yeah. A little touch up. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a second building on the property where social events are held. I've held my
Mm.
family reunion there. People do receptions,
Wow.
workshops. And
Wow.
some just come to river gaze, just
Mm-hmm.
some quiet time, alone with their thoughts, and just really, really enjoy the property. So we believe we play a vital role in educating people about the retreat
The
center.
retreat center. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that makes me ask too. Then because I see listening to all that, I love the tie-in. I love the hand in hand, if you will,
Yes.
of the jazz in the country and working with Mount Bethel Baptist Retreat Center. But I'm curious to know too, because a lot of times on the show I always from business owners and entrepreneurs, this partnership though, is there like a mission or vision that you see or are building towards, let's say for the next couple of years that you may want to talk about? Because I think it's important that we, the community, understand that, and really how we can maybe get involved to be able to help support that mission and vision moving forward.
Yes. So Jazz in the Country totally embraces the vision of the retreat center and supports, the mission of the association, which primarily was focused toward their congregations that are members of the association.
Mm,
However, they have opened the arms to the public who can come and rent the place as well. And so that's really the reason that we formed as a nonprofit, which we did in early 2019, and that's to support the retreat center.
mm,
One of the things they want to do is to offer, excuse me,
mm-hmm.
free summer youth camps to area youth.
Oh
Because
wow.
not all of us, even today, not every family can afford for their kids to go to camp or even a YMCA.
Yeah.
So we said that is a great thing. How can we help them do what they want to do?
Mm-hmm.
So we totally embrace, we reach out to local community and beyond to help with this creative way, a jazz festival, to
Mm,
bring people together, to tell them about the history, let them experience the property, and many actually use the facilities as
mm.
well. And so, of course, word of mouth is one of the best ways to spread news.
That's right.
And once people get there, like me, they fall in love with the place.
You have to. I
Yes,
find it, the beauty of it. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful areas that I've had the pleasure of laying my eyes on here in our region. So
yes,
I'm familiar with it. Like I said, I implore those who really haven't had the opportunity, like I said, make a day trip out of it. But one of the things too, Joan, in preparing for our conversation and looking at it, I just wanted to change lanes for a second because I think there's another important piece that I'd like to highlight and have you highlight really.
mhm,
Some of the things that are really on the Mount Bethel, wish list, if you will, that I know that they're really looking to help, revitalize, like you said, some places need a touch up, but I noticed that there are other things on their wish list. Could you go ahead and share what those things are? And again, how we can get that community, we want to get them out there and help with that, that
yes,
revitalization.
yes, yes. So of course the facilities themselves, as I briefly mentioned, need a facelift, need general surgery. But
Mm-hmm.
we also would like to have installed a community multi-purpose court, basketball, tennis, volleyball. Um, there's no kids playground there, so we would like
Wow.
to work toward having that installed. Outdoor restrooms, so whoever uses the facility will have these things accessible.
Accessible. Mm.
Yeah, so those are the top of our list. And of course, the summer youth camps, we're proud that this year is going to be our first free youth music workshop,
All
which will be
right.
the day before the festival.
All
And
right.
so we're glad, we're moving forward, and we anticipate that we'll have some sort of workshop or camp for kids every year. Every year. So
I love that. 'Cause like you said, it's through the pandemic and through all the changes. Really the last maybe 5 or 6 years within our country has made it
yeah,
very difficult for so many families. And now I'm not talking about just black or brown. I'm just talking about across the board
yes,
where people are struggling. And to be able to have something such as, summer camps, jazz camp, things that can really help young children, one, get away from the adult stress, because a lot of them are coming up in this adult stress, but then to
correct.
allow them to be children, right? And to give them the
Exactly.
tools, and
Exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that about, everything that you shared so far. And I think it's important, if you live in the King George area, make sure you reach out, and get involved. And we're going to talk about uh, the actual Jazz in the Country event that's going to be this Saturday,
Yeah.
August 26th, 2023, from noon to 7. We're going to get into some of the artists, and some of the other things that the community can come out and participate in. But before we get into that, I'm going to put everybody on pause. We're going to take a quick commercial break so we can shout out our sponsors and thank them for their support here at Two Mics Up. And we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. Catch us on the other side of the break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back fresh out the break. You can see the magnificent and beautiful smile of tonight's guest, Ms. Joan Waters, VP, Jazz in the Country. Almost slipped up. Jazz in the Country, want to be clear, here in the DMV. Joan, we've been really going on and talking about a lot of the history, and really getting an introduction to you in the first half. But I want to talk about, this amazing lineup that's going to be at Jazz in the Country this weekend. And if you could, I mean, please, I see your smile, I see the energy, your head nod. Please go ahead and just educate us and our listeners. Like, who can we see and what can we expect, this coming weekend down at Mount Bethel Baptist Church in King George, Virginia?
So this being our fourth year is the fourth opportunity that we have been able to bring some of the top-notch talent in the DMV and beyond. So we are proud and just so excited to have Kayla Waters as our headliner. She'll be joined by our special guest, Paula Atherton, who's on sax. We like to highlight local talent as well. Jacob Webb actually is out of the DMV area, but he'll be coming down. He's a jazz guitarist. And I believe Philip Dot Martin is going to steal on the stage with him.
All right.
Out of DC, we have a Latin jazz band that's coming that'll get everybody out of the seats if
All right.
they get a little too laid back after hearing our opening act, which is the Harry Wilson Group right out of Fredericksburg.
Mm.
And we're also happy to have back as our MC Kyle on the mic,
All right.
He brings energy. He keeps everyone going and just escorts us through the day. So we're really, really excited to have him back again this year.
Man, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you need to, if you haven't, I say get your ticket. If you're in town, I know, kids are back to school, a whole lot of different things are going on. But if you're in town and you have the opportunity, and I want to ask Joan, is there or are there, tickets still available for the community to be able to go ahead and access tickets? And if so, where do they need to go to make sure they get a ticket to come on out Saturday?
So right now, they can pull out their phone and go to our website, jazzinthecountry.com. The tickets are $75 for a day-long excursion through some great jazz music. The day of the event, Saturday, they go up $10 to $85. So we also offer discounts for groups of 10. We have military discounts, and of course, kids under 10 are free. So it's a family-friendly atmosphere. So don't hesitate. Get your ticket right now.
Yeah, you heard Joan tell you. We're gonna come back. We're gonna put that back up for y'all. Just in case anybody missed it. Make sure you get those tickets. Get a group together, and y'all go out and enjoy a whole day of jazz. And I also would be remiss not to mention, Joan, from some of the other things now that are going to be going on. Are there going to be like vendors? And again, I want to make sure that everybody comes prepared, because a lot of times our folks come out, they're not prepared. Is there any other special information that they need to know, or do's and don'ts when coming to the festival? I just want to make sure, because sometimes people be lacking and act like they don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, of course, you have to get your eat on as you sit by the water. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have several food vendors featuring Jamaican fare. We'll have some Southern cooking out there, a little Louisiana style cooking. And for those who want a healthy option, there'll be plant-based sandwiches and other goodies from them. And of course, to cool you off on a nice hot summer day, we will have flavorful shaved ice by one of our great friends that come back every year. So lots of food to enjoy, and we will have a few vendors. We invite local businesses to support them to come out and sell their wares, and we also invite community service type organizations to come and share information about what they offer the community.
And that is just so awesome. I love the whole community vibe, the community connection. This is really built on community. And one of the other things too, I know, with an event like this, I also want to, I'm I hate to use the word assume, but I don't want to put it out, but are you still in need? Because volunteers are crucial probably to helping putting on such a massive event such as this. Are you still in need of volunteers as well? And if so,
so we are grateful and blessed that every year at least 30 or so people from the local community show up to make it happen.
That's beautiful.
And this year, we just decided to open it up to whoever subscribed to our website or just saw information about the festival and wanted to lend a helping hand. And so we're pretty well set, thankfully. And we're so grateful because, it takes a village.
Yeah, it really does. It really does, especially with something of this magnitude.
Exactly. And, I don't know why sometimes I'm a little surprised at how eager people are to help. Because, as an organizer, you feel that you got to beg.
Yeah, hey.
Sometimes you got to beg people. But, we have not. We have not. Beautiful. And we're very, very blessed in that way.
I will say, in situations such as that, I will, but I've come to learn throughout, whether it be events, business, whatever it is, it starts with the person. And that's a testament to you, Joan, as a person. If you have been able to surround yourself and insulate yourself, if you will, with people who are just so willing to help. and you know, and I mean that, you know, and I look at that on the business side or whatever. You know, I've been blessed, you know, with great teams that people trust in me. And like I said, this all starts with the person. Leadership is more than a title. Uh, it really boils down to your one-on-ones and how that bleeds and blends into others, and they really believe in that. So, kudos to you and Jazz in the
Oh,
country for all that you're doing. And I'll be remiss too, Joan, because there's another side that I think that I always like to ask, and this is one of my favorite questions. It's really about the positive impact, you know, that, you know, you as a person or, you know, as the organization, you know, what do you see or what do you believe is your positive impact, you know, from your work with jazz in the country? You know, as it, like you said, you're growing, you know,
right.
year by year. So what is that positive impact or message do you see, you know, in your work?
So, first of all, thank you for your kind words. And, it is an honor, and I really feel it a personal assignment
Mm,
for me in this season of my life to be able to use the talents that I have acquired over the years. And I think more than anything, number one, I have a great time at the festival,
mm-hmm.
but I am really blessed by the team that we have that makes up our board of directors. I am blessed when I see just people I have never met before show up and say, I want to help. I want to
Mm,
help. And I think that's a great testament to just the spirit of people in general who believe in community, who want to support, who want to help. And then when they find out why we do what we do, it really encourages others as well.
it does.
Um, we're all very happy as the planners when it all comes together and we see people sitting back and relaxing and just having some time away from the stresses of life,
Mm,
and I think that's a huge impact.
yeah.
And we just try to be positive the whole day, which is easy because there's food, music,
I know that's
you're
right.
on the river. What more would you
I
want?
know that's right.
So we really do feel, and we look forward to continuing to engage community, not just to come and enjoy, but there are many hands, many businesses that support us financially. King George Tourism has been a huge, huge supporter,
Awesome.
and we in turn feel that it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
And we encourage people not to come just to jazz and the country events, but come to King George. There's
Mm,
lots of recreational opportunities year round.
right.
And so again, it is a win-win for the community, for us as an organization, for the jazz lovers that come, for the entertainers.
That's right.
We really like to encourage a family feel, and that people will come back year after year and just have a great day by the river.
Mm. And I mean, and that says it all in a snapshot. You know, that really is it. You know, the peace, the quiet, the comfort, the
Yes,
scenery, like you said, the music. Who can go wrong with the music and the food? So
yes,
I, you know, I really love, you know, that impact that you're having on not only the King George community, but I can see as time goes on, we're going to see this grow and really span and spawn out, you know, across, you know, the DMV, and that's really, I think, the focus. You know, you're bringing something that's really a testament, you know, to an art, to a craft, uh,
yes,
and to our community, and you're throwing in some history, you know,
yes,
with it, and that's
yes.
really important.
And involving even the high school kids, that's
Mm,
an avenue to get to their families
right.
and educating them about Mount Bethel as
Mm-hmm.
well. And saying, you don't have to go far to find history. We have
Okay.
a beautiful historical landmark, really,
Mm-hmm.
right in your backyard, so you can appreciate the contributions of our forefathers,
Okay.
and we're enjoying the fruit of their labor,
Mm,
actually.
yeah.
So it's really important, and we believe too, as we continue to grow and offer all types of workshops for kids, and hopefully even expand that to families.
Mm,
Adults
I love it.
love to learn music as well. So
Of
if you're
course.
musical appreciation. We think that we could offer workshops that teach kids and help them with life skills, maybe even sports camps,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging them to volunteer in the community.
Right.
And so it's a big ball of wax, and we just feel that as we continue to grow, there'll be more input, and there'll
Mm.
be more people come to us and say, "Hey, this is what I do. Let me help you."
Exactly. Hey, and that's I'm with you, and that was why I was honored, and this is a pleasure, after meeting to be able to have you come on and share, you know, using my platform to share what you're doing, the amazing work that you're doing, because it should be shared, it should be known, what's
Yeah,
going on in our communities, plural, across
yes,
all, across all areas. So thank
yeah.
you, Joan, for really, just sharing, a piece of you with us today. And I want to know before we close out, because we're coming towards the end, of this amazing conversation. I mean, 30 minutes goes by in a blink of an eye when you're
Yeah.
having great talk and great conversation. But I'm curious, you speak about all of the next level things that the workshops and the plannings and different things that and I can see that coming, and spawning or growing from the work that you're doing. But is there another piece? Is there maybe something that maybe you have, in your bag that you holding on, that you got an idea of what you want to do next, in addition to whether it be, for Jazz in the Garden, would this be something that maybe could expand to more than one weekend? Could it maybe expand to maybe another location? I don't know. I'm just throwing out a few questions here.
Well, I'm so glad you asked that. We have our eyes and ears open to great ideas from others that we engage and interact with. And I do have to give a shout out to the Virginia Black Business Directory.
Hmm.
And it was at their expo that we met, and we actually have found vendors through them, supporters, sponsors, that sort of thing. And so I just commend them for the great work they're doing. And um, it's an example for us. You never stop learning.
That's right.
There's always someone who can do things better than you. And
True.
so we're open to suggestions, instructions, constructive criticism, so that we can get better and be an example as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have big vision. Yes, we will expand. It might be next year
All right.
to 2-day event.
Okay.
We have considered other locations, different types of events. Of course, most of them would be centered around jazz, but we're not closed to other genres of music as well.
Okay. Okay.
We always have a little mix of R&B. I'm not a big country fan, but hey, we are inclusive. Who
Inclusive.
knows? How about a
That's
little
right.
country jazz, a little jazzy country? I don't know.
Okay. All
How
right.
about blues? How about a little
Right.
rock and roll?
Why
So
not?
we have not shut the door on any opportunity that might present itself. So
So
that
I
keeps us excited. That keeps us excited.
for that's what I love it because I'm excited. Just the thought of it, adding additional, music genres, adding an additional day,
Yes.
adding additional vendors, whatever it may be. I mean, it is exciting. It does sound extremely exciting. I look forward to it. And you're right. Being a current director, and member of the Virginia Black Business Directory, it's been a pleasure. And said meeting you over the weekend, and so many other amazing businesses here in the DMV. And I'll
Yes.
be honest with you, I have used the directory to highlight so many businesses here on my show and on this platform, because there's just a depth and a wealth of awe-inspiring individuals that I've
Yes.
had the measure to meet and talk to. And Joan, you're definitely one of them. And I'm blessed to be able to, say, hey, now I have a new friend. And, I look forward to you and I continuing, hopefully this conversation as you and Jazz in the Country keep on growing. You're always welcome to come back. We're gonna, want to get you back. You got a whole nother side of you that we talked about that we need to work on and build for a conversation. It's been my pleasure, my honor to have you here today. But before I let you go, I got to ask you, share your social media. And I want to make sure I'm gonna put it up here again where people can go out here and buy these tickets. It's this weekend, y'all.
It's
Saturday, August 26th. Right.
Yes, the countdown is on. Of course, we're all over Facebook and Instagram. And our website has a wealth of information, probably more information than you ever want to know. But we talk about not just the artists and getting tickets. Actually, we have a special hotel deal also with the Holiday Inn Express in Dahlgren. They're giving us a great discount, and that's anyone connected to the festival. So that information is also on the website. So be sure to dig in and grab all the info you can. Join our jazz family as well, and you'll get updates, festival news, all kinds of information. So it's really good. I need to add one other thing.
Sure.
I think I didn't mention to bring your lawn chair so you can be comfy.
We
also will be selling the canopy chairs, and they're available on our website now if you want to purchase now and pick it up at the festival. That deadline will be in a couple of days to make those orders. And there is a big no-no. There are two big no-nos.
Okay.
That's no alcohol.
All right.
And no tents.
Okay.
So we're praying for a beautiful 84-degree and feel that freeze off the Potomac.
That's right. Yeah, I heard it because you said 84.
84.
We don't want nothing over 90. Hey. We don't want nothing over 80. We need a low 80s with a breeze.
Yes. That's a perfect day.
I love it.
Oh, I can't thank you enough. Really appreciate having the opportunity to talk about Mount Bethel.
Hey, that's what we do. That's what we do here, two mics up, and I, like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure as always to be able to be in the presence of greatness, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we have here today. Make sure you go out, you tell a friend, go out in groups, because I believe they have, group ticket pricing. Get it today. Spread the message. Get in your caravan. Go out Saturday, August 26th, 2023. Make sure you go ahead and you go out here and you check it out. It's going to be held at the historic Mount Bethel Retreat Center, in King George, Virginia. You have the address 17420 Mount Bethel Lane. Jazz in the Country. Tell a friend. Come together as family. There's going to be merch available. It's going to be, get your tickets now while it's still available. Joan says she okay with volunteers, but if you still want to volunteer, try to get it in there. Try to come down and help. Be supportive. Support the event. Support the community. Joan, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to sit here and talk with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope to see you at the festival.
Well, I hope so. We're going to try to make it. I know we talked, I had some, some family, I can't put my daughter on hold for too much longer.
This is true. So I won't say to you what I tell everybody else. Whatever you got scheduled, cancel it. But no, family comes first.
Hey, look, some things, I got two queens, and I'm not, I like sleeping peacefully.
I know that's
right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another great conversation, here on Two Mics Up. I'm your man, Dame DNYDC. You can follow me across all social media at Dame DNYDC. Make sure you continue to follow Two Mics Up. You can follow Two Mics Up online across all social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. Make sure you continue to follow us Monday nights. Monday nights, brand new episode, season 5. We rolling along. We coming on the back end. Mogul TV Global Network. New episodes air every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you all enjoy. And as we close out, you know how I always do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do just a couple of things. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Mike's out.